computer. Good morning. It is a Friday. I am in Southern Maryland. It's finally less than 85 degrees outside, and I am with our editor for the magazine, our managing editor. My words aren't going to work today, people. I'm drinking coffee for a reason. Mr. Paul Peluso, who's down in Florida. And what's the temperature there now, Paul? About 310 degrees or what?
Something like that, Frank. Yeah, it's probably 88 degrees, but feels like 150. So that's the
Yeah,
way humidity works. And
we
you've
were at
been dealing with that.
101 the other day
Yeah.
with a feels like of 110,
Yep.
112, whatever it was. I don't
Uh,
want to know the feels like. Just tell me what the temperature is. Otherwise, I start to feel worse, right? We've got 6 stories to discuss this morning, some hot topics from this past week. And our first one up is about a woman who was arrested, handcuffed, put in a cruiser, and pulled a gun out of her pants and shot at a couple of Florida deputies. Now, before I tear off in my rant, what are your thoughts on this, Mr. Peluso?
yeah, right. It's like kind of expect the unexpected that, she from looking at the head, the mugshot of this woman, looks like she's probably smaller. Uh,
She does look
that
like a little girl, doesn't she? She looks like
well,
about 13 years old.
yeah, and probably just gathering it from the mugshot, probably shorter. And you probably don't expect her to be hiding a gun in her pants. So yeah, it's that, expecting the unexpected. How would have you dealt with this situation?
So I was taught in the academy a long time ago. And of course, there's always a challenge of if you're a male officer and you're searching a female arrestee. And number one, once you handcuff, you immediately search, thorough search, right? Thorough and structured. So head to toe, one side, head to toe, the other side. Handcuff first. Again, with a woman, if you're a male officer, you worry about he sexually assaulted me because he was touching me through my bra or in my pants, whatever. Get a witness, get a female officer to search. Um, let me put it to you this way. If I searched a guy, I knew exactly what was in his pants. And if it wasn't attached to his body, it was mine. It was coming out. I feel like the same thing with a woman. Now, there's always the possibility that things were hidden someplace guys shouldn't be reaching, but still, there is no reason. And I'm not being critical of the officers. Like everybody does everything, their circumstances we don't know about. You handcuff this woman, you search her thoroughly. For her to have a gun in her pants that they didn't find, and for her to be able to reach in her pants to be able to shoot at anybody, she has to have been handcuffed in front or got her handcuffs in the front. Handcuffed to the back, thorough search, put in a car seatbelt so that she can't get her hands in front. There's procedures, there's protocols to avoid this kind of thing. I'd be willing to bet that the deputy whose head was shot at, thank God,
Yeah.
didn't kill him. I mean, the deputy suffered a bullet graze wound near his right eye. That's way, way, way too close for comfort. I bet he doesn't do whatever he did again. You know
Yeah,
what I
and
mean?
the yeah, that whole scenario situation of being your head being shot at, and then the cruiser itself crashes, right? And then he's able to exit and return fire.
Yeah, think about that too. So he
Yeah,
returned fire at an arrestee who's handcuffed in the back seat. How's that going to look if he kills her by gunfire, right? He shot a prisoner. Can you see mainstream media now? Florida deputy executes woman in the back seat
a
because he
handcuffed
shot a
woman.
woman
Yeah.
who's handcuffed in the back. Right? Yeah, and then pictures of her on national television. They're going to make it out like he shot a child. I mean, anyway, there's a better way to be safe about this, and it's a shame it happened. I'm glad the deputy wasn't killed. I don't know how I feel about her, but
Well, and I know I was before we got on this call, I talked to you about an interview that I just did with a representative from iPro about their
yeah,
new camera system, about having, higher quality cameras that also have AI, human detection, built into them within the cruiser itself, within the cabin, that these cameras are able, they turn automatically on when you have a passenger in the back, that that the footage that's being captured is much more clear than the old the old cameras were. Those secondary cameras weren't always HD. These ones are, and to be able to have that, backup evidence for the officer, to be able not only in the media but to use in court, and to be able to say, no, this is exactly what happened.
Yeah, so one other thing on this, I'm kind of disappointed. I don't understand. The woman's facing multiple felony charges, including attempted second-degree murder. Why attempted second degree? I mean, she tried to shoot the deputy in the back of the head. This should be attempted first degree in every sense of the word. Anyway, moving on to our second story, we take ourselves to Dallas, where the Dallas Police Department has dropped the college requirement for applicants. Everybody's got recruiting challenges right now, and the college mandate's actually hurting a lot of people who apply. They're otherwise qualified, but they don't have the requisite college degree. Dallas is supposed to have 4,000 officers. They have a hard time, like everybody else, of getting to where they need to be. They're 20% short. 3,200 and change is all they've got. So they're dropping the college degree. Now, I've been a police officer, hired without a college degree. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, as a citizen, Paul, as a guy who's served by a police department, would you rather have your cops have the college requirement or not have the college requirement, or do you care as long as they do the job?
Oh, I think that as long as they do the job, it's fine. But with these, with these departments, and I know that you can use a smaller department as a stepping stone, but in some cases, isn't the age requirement of 21?
Everywhere I've ever seen, except for Louisiana, oddly enough, to be a police officer, 21, to be a corrections deputy, or like commercial, like Maryland State Police, they have the weigh scales and stuff, and they inspect tractor trailers and stuff. 18 for those inspection officers.
Yeah.
But if you have arrest authority, it's 21 as far as I know. Everywhere else, so.
Yeah. But yeah, still have minimum of high school diploma, GED, and steady what is it? 3 years of steady full-time work experience. So there are requirements there. You just can't walk off the street as a 21-year-old. But yeah, I think that you've seen other areas kind of do this where you need less college and you used to need that. It's not like you need a full degree out of college. That the police academy also fulfills some of those college requirements in the end in those jurisdictions. The department's in a hard place where they're required to meet this number of officers, and they need the recruits, and they don't have them. So yeah, I think that this is a path you can take.
I like the fact that they have options, right? They're going to waive that requirement, the degree requirement, but they still want the recruits to either have at least 45 hours of college credits or 3 years of certified law enforcement experience, which makes sense. I mean, if you're 30 and you've been a cop someplace for 8 years, but you don't have the college degree and you're willing to come to work for Dallas should take you. You're an experienced cop. An active license with the Texas Law Enforcement Regulatory Agency, which means you've been approved by the state to be a police officer. You're just not working anywhere. I like this one. Or have 3 years of active military service with an honorable discharge. Hallelujah. So many people that had that college requirement would not waive it for military service, especially 20 years ago, 15 years ago. We had all these people coming back from Afghanistan and the war. And here's people with no issues. I mean, we're not talking about people coming back with PTSD and anger management, all this. We're talking about people coming back, no issues. They've served honorably 4, 5, 6 years, but they can't get hired by a police department because they don't have a college degree. But they fully understand chain of command, discipline, uniform maintenance, professional engagement. They understand all that. They couldn't get a job. I'm glad to see this, the 3 years active service with an honorable discharge. I think that alone will help Dallas a lot, I think.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, with the college degree, if you're coming from a neighboring department with experience, that you may not have been able to get that position with Dallas, and now you can. It's not like they're taking checkers at your local grocery store and put them through the academy and slap it on a badge. In
But in
this
all
case,
honesty, and I don't mean to be rude about it,
yeah.
what's to stop? You've got somebody graduates high school, good kid, good person, no issues in high school. They get out, they go to work, they don't know what they want to get a degree in, they don't know if they want to do this, they don't want to do that. They come out, they're working. Maybe they're trying to find what they want to do. They meet all the requirements for the job. They get through the academy. They graduate number one academic, number one on the range, number one on the driving course, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Why would what makes us think that they're any less capable of being a good cop?
Oh yeah, no, and you can, but I'm guessing that the department's probably using this more to be able to attract those, lateral recruits from other departments.
Oh,
Right?
every agency right
Yeah.
now is trying to
Yeah.
steal bilateral recruiting. I have no doubt about that. But it'll be interesting to see how this affects their recruiting numbers. They're like I said, they're almost 800 officers down. They set a 250 person recruit goal for this year. We'll see how they do. We're going to jump from Texas to California, where a 45-year-old armed suspect shot and killed a man and a woman in a Fontana shopping area, and then was fatally shot by an off-duty San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputy who witnessed him shoot the other two people. I'm just going to comment on this real quick. I know it's the media, and we say this 45-year-old armed suspect, he's a criminal. He's not a suspect. Deputy watched him shoot a man and a woman, killed them. The deputy shoots the suspect, and the suspect died. He's a criminal. Deputy shot a criminal who had committed 2 murders in front of him. Kudos to the deputy. But my comment on this, and the reason I want to discuss it, off duty. And we talk about this all the time. Are we ever really 100% off duty? Not in my world.
Definitely. And that's exactly what you see here, that you're never off duty. This officer did the right thing, did what he was trained to do. As far as, like you said, the working for a media outlet, a newspaper, you try to do everything legally, right? That you have to say allege, you have to say suspect. But in this case, he did shoot the gunman. He did shoot. He did, fatally shoot.
See, that's my thing. The guy's not alive to sue us anymore.
The gunman.
Why would we just say we shot a criminal?
Yes. Now, if there was a name used, Sam Smith, you would say alleged, because, who knows that's the actual guy. You figure that it is once they,
okay, fair enough,
and identify him. But in this case, you have to say suspect.
My dad,
but yes,
who was a district court judge, would 100% agree with you because of the legalities of the situation and the potential liability. 100%. By the same token, when he was a judge sitting on the bench, once he found you guilty of shoplifting, he didn't call you by your name anymore. He called you the thief. And that's how he referred to you, as the thief. If you were there for a divorce case and the case had been proven that you were cheating on your spouse, he didn't call you Mr. or Mrs. whatever anymore. You were just a cheater. And that was how he referred to you in open court. And he was really popular because he didn't mince words.
I love that his legal reference to someone would be the cheater, but
the adulterer. But again, off-duty California deputy taking law enforcement action because you never know what's going to go on around you. We are never truly off duty. For all my brother and sister cops out there, and I'm as guilty as the next person. I'm retired now. I go out without a gun all the time if I want. You never know what's going to go sideways. You should always be prepared to take the necessary action. And if you're carrying a gun off duty, might be a good idea to carry some handcuffs off duty, because otherwise someday you don't want to be in the position where you shot somebody and then you get sued. And the question is, well, could you have even arrested them? Did you have any other option? Did you have handcuffs? No, I didn't have handcuffs. I was wearing a bathing suit walking down the boardwalk, but I had a gun. Not in a position you want to be in. Let's jump from there to New York City. And in a case this deeply disturbs me. A man who's accused of trying to quote unquote stomp the life out of an off duty New York City officer. Now, again, off duty, but it's a different case. This is a New York City police officer who's still in uniform off duty. So, no way of knowing he's off duty. He's in full uniform. And these two guys attack him at knife point, beat him unconscious. They take his wallet, his ID, his gun. They're lucky. He's lucky they didn't shoot him with his own gun. But to me, this is a whole different level of bravado, of audacity. Two guys attack, for what they know, a police officer. He's in full uniform. So as far as they're concerned, they're attacking an on-duty New York City police officer at knife point. Number one, they took a knife to a gunfight. They're lucky they won. Number two, they beat him unconscious and take all of his stuff. And then they managed to hide for a month. Now they've been extradited back. They were caught in Virginia and extradited back. This is a whole different level of evil in my book. Wait, I mean, can you imagine this?
Yeah, and so both of them were captured in Virginia, which is, interesting in its own right that they were able to escape all the way to Virginia after doing something as heinous as this. But it does show that, law enforcement was able to track him down out of state, bring him back. But yeah, this is just, of course, completely uncalled for.
But the guy's in full uniform. And then apparently, after they attacked him, then this was the comment apparently from body camera. New York City police officer, I'm going to kick him and make sure he stays down. Dude's in full uniform. How did you not know what he was before you started your attack?
Yeah.
Attempted to stomp the life out of the officer and stomped him so hard in the face that he had a shoe print on his face well over a week after the incident. That's trying to crush a skull strength. This is attempted murder. I mean, and I'm sorry, look, killing a police officer is not any more heinous than killing anybody else. Murder's murder. I'm not the guy who believes in hate crimes. But if this is the kind of violent capacity you show in the commission of a crime, once you're found guilty, you got one appeal. Once you're found guilty, rope's reusable. Hang this dude. Anyway, probably should not record such things and put it out there for the public consumption, but I'm going to.
Well, and also just one more thing about this officer. Yeah, he was taken to the hospital. He had to undergo multiple surgeries. He's working his way back. So best of luck to him. It just sounds just a horrible situation.
So now we go all the way back to the other end of the country, to California, to the city of Corona, where a California police officer rescues a baby left inside of a car. It's summertime, 110 degrees in the car. Some jerk of a parent, all of y'all who are watching this, listening to it, whatever, understand that it is a huge challenge for me not to say the words I actually want to say, referring to parents who neglect children or dogs or other pets in their car. The terms I want to use are not suitable for public consumption. If you know George Carlin's 7 words you can't say on the radio, they're all in there somewhere. And if you don't know them, Google that. George Carlin's 7 words you can't say on the radio. It's hilarious and true. But the cops rescue this kid from a 110-degree car. Thank God they did. They saved that child's life. Every place I see, I go, I look, I see notes about, when you click, double check. You look for your bag, double check your bag. I don't even have kids that age anymore, and I look in my back seat to make sure I haven't locked anything in there. You have to have a license to do everything except be a parent. Some people shouldn't be parents. Sorry. Okay, I'm done, Paul.
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah, so there's not a lot of details here about why the child was left inside, what could have happened there. Like you said, always. Yeah. No, I completely agree. It looks like this is from the video that was included, an older vehicle, an older Mitsubishi, I believe. And and so newer vehicles do have alerts that, when you stop the vehicle, that, hey, check behind you to see if there's anything left in the car. And that's exactly what it is. It's, check to see if you left your baby back there or left your kid back there. In this case, if the baby was sleeping in the car seat and I don't know why the parent would forget that it was back, but that type of thing happens. Just the worst time to do it is the middle of the summer. And luckily
Yeah, I
the
mean, yeah,
officers
you're
received the
right. There's
report.
never a good time to leave your
No, no,
kid
no.
unattended in a
Yeah,
locked
it's
car.
insane.
But it's summertime, and we're going to deal with this all the time.
But
And if you're a parent and you're listening to this, you're watching it, whatever, double check, man. How it takes a second to look in your back seat as you walk away from your car. Don't leave your kids and your pets in your car. Why would you cook them? And that's what you're doing. Think about that. This is how cruel this is. The harshest one of the things I'll say. You leave your child in a locked up hot car, you're baking your kid. Welcome to being the witch in Hansel and Gretel story. I can't. More coffee, Frank. You need
I,
more coffee, Frank.
I will say, great job by the officers, great job by the department, because
Yeah,
I'm sure
100%.
out of the cases where this is the case, there's tons of false alarms with a dog being locked in a car, with kids being locked in a car, that someone, you see something, you say something, then people call it in and it ends up not being what you think it is. But at the same time, great job by the officers for going out to the scene, responding quickly, not thinking that it could be a false alarm, and they were able to rescue this baby. It's great.
So from there, we're going to go to our last story in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. This is our stupid criminal of the week, and it's not really stupid, but it's actually kind of funny. And I wish I could do impersonations, because the title of this story is Ruh-Roh Shaggy, Alabama police hunt for a thief in a Scooby-Doo costume. When they catch this person, they should absolutely leave them in the costume and have somebody who looks like Fred, Velma, Daphne, and Shaggy pull the mask off and scream, "Oh no, it's Mr. Carruthers!" Yeah, so if you look at the pictures, somebody in a Scooby-Doo costume broke into a convenience store, stole cash and coins. It takes imagination, if nothing else.
Yeah, I like the sense of humor by the police department as well. On Facebook, they posted, "Hey gang, we need your help solving a mystery." And so they posted these photos, and yeah, it's not a costume from Scooby-Doo, it's a costume Scooby-Doo. It's not one
Yeah,
of the other characters or anything like that. It's the actual dog. It's
it's a
funny,
Scooby-Doo
but at the
costume.
same time very serious, because this guy could have, the suspect, this guy could have done harm to
The
to the
alleged Scooby-Doo.
yeah, yeah,
The suspect took cash and coins. I think it's interesting that they said, but he took no snacks.
yeah.
Well, they probably didn't have Scooby snacks. Shaggy had special Scooby snacks, I think, back then. They might have been a little bit something like you get at a CBD store today, but I don't know. I don't go to those places. But somebody else said, maybe lay out some Scooby snacks and stay really still. He will come to you. And he
I
would
like
have
it.
gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling kids.
Yeah, it looks like the comments that were left on
Yeah.
this Facebook post were pretty good too. Someone said
Yeah.
it actually wasn't Scooby, it was Old Man Smithers disguised as Scooby-Doo. I so luckily, well, I guess they haven't caught the guy, right? They're still looking for this masked
Well,
man.
yep. They're
But
still
for the
looking for
department,
Scooby.
yeah. So for the department to be able to post this and get some positive, reactions, comments, um, those are people that'll also see the department in their feed from now on, possibly, and be able to be alerted of something that's going on, or any of the PSAs that they're putting out, and puts that department in a good light. So that's good.
Yeah, its engagement's great. So that's our 6 stories. I want to call attention to the fact that Officer Media Group's still running our Valor Awards. If you know an officer who's deserving of recognition for some act of valor, go to our website and you can find our Valor Awards in the pull down menu or on the page. Paul, what's going on with Station Design?
Yeah, I'll mention Station Design Awards. The nomination period is open until the beginning of August. I believe it's like August 9th. So if your department has opened a new facility within the last 4 years, reach out to your command staff, and they can reach out to the architect on record, and they can submit their facility for the Design Awards program. It's a great program that we run, and make sure, if you haven't heard of it, go on Officer.com, go to the stations page, go to on our hamburger drop down. You can find the Design Awards there, and look at the November, December issue as well. and you'll be able to see all the winners from last year's program.
Yeah, it's a heck of an honor to have your new station or your redesign or whatever featured in that November, December issue, and get recognized if it's one worth the award. So 100%. I want to thank everybody for watching or listening. You can email us. We have email of either Frank at Officer.com or Paul at Officer.com. We've just recently started doing these as video as well. If you've got feedback, we'd love to hear it. Other than that, watch the temperatures. It has been hot. It's only going to get hotter. And stay safe. Thanks for everybody for listening and watching.